Hey everyone, in this video I want to show a quick tip about applying paint or perhaps a freeze mask to a given region of the model using pixels that you have already painted, and use those pixels to basically mask out an area that you do not want pixels applied to. So let me try and give an example here. In this case, I want to apply a different smart material than what I already have to the boot region, but obviously, the first problem that I would have is trying to restrict it to the boots. If I were working with a low polygon UV mapped model, then one way that you could apply this is using this last draw mode in the ePanel, paint by polygon. So it's essentially masking out everything except for the polygon your brush is currently over. That's one way you could do it. But here I have a sculpt object, which means it's typically a high polygon or very dense object in the sculpt workspace, but I'm allowed to use the paint tools much in the same way as I would a low polygon UV mapped model. The density of the polygons, therefore, is too much for this mode to be very practical, so we will have to use something else. If the boots were separated as a different object, then I could just simply pick that with the fill tool in order to fill it quickly. But in this case, this is a contiguous mesh. So what I'm going to do is use the pixels that are already painted as essentially a mask. We can do that by going to the layer we essentially want to mask out. I'll go to the pants layer and I want to right click. I want to choose freeze transparent pixels. You could do it the other way. There are couple different ways to do it, but I think the quickest one is to choose freeze transparent pixels. It's going to apply it to everything on this layer that does not have paint applied to it. So it only had paint applied to the pants region. Everything outside of that gets a mask, a freeze mask. As you can see, it gets darker. So now with the freeze tool active or selected in the ePanel, I want to choose something like a lasso with ignore back facing unchecked. So I want to lasso so that it deselects all the way through the model. In order to deselect, I need to hold down the control key while I make the lasso selection. So now the only area that has any freezing applied to it is the boot region. Since we want to apply some paint to the boots, we have to invert the freeze mask. We can hit Control-Shift-I like we would in Photoshop to invert a selection, or we can go to the freeze menu. I'll just tear that off and leave it in the viewport for the moment. But yeah, we can click on Invert Freeze Selection. So now everything outside the boots is frozen. I'll just create a new layer. Select my smart material. I want to go to the Fill tool. Let's take a peek. Preview. Okay, I can adjust the scale. All right, and if I'm happy with that, I can simply click on the boots. And that's it. It applied strictly in the area that we wanted. So that's going to conclude this quick tip video. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.